This is Josie and Lila's production of plate tectonics and how we have plate tectonics. Yay! Big smiley face with tooth. Bye! Divergent boundaries, number 1. Okay, so divergent boundaries are mainly seafloor spreading, which is plates moving apart. And this happens, what happens to divergent boundaries is the deep, so see this picture right here. So there is this, these plates right there. They're ocean floor plates. Yeah. Plate tectonics, okay? And then the blue stuff is obviously the ocean. So the ocean goes up a little bit higher than that. So that's when the magma from underneath the seafloor plates starts to go around. Like, so right here you see this magma right here, that arrow pointing down. That would be the cold magma. And the arrow pointing up is the hot magma. It basically goes in a cycle because the hot magma heat is attracted up with convection and cold magma is attracted down with convection. So they start to push and finally the magma comes out of that seafloor, making a trench. And so from that trench, that magma starts to become an underwater volcano. Yeah, that's a volcano. So this volcano that's right here starts to spurt out magma because like all volcanoes, it does. And eventually the magma that comes out of this volcano starts to come up and make islands because when heat rises, it sort of cools down. So it cools down. So it becomes this little island and then people start to live on that island and yeah, basically that. But, so that island comes up, and that is the divergent boundaries. The plates on the ocean floor are basically made of a rigid part of a hard part of the lithosphere. I don't know how you want to pronounce that. And, of course, this is the top section of the Earth, because the lithosphere, if you look at a world, I'm not going to do a great job here, but the lithosphere takes up the crust and a small part of the outer mantle. So we have this lithosphere. It's not very accurate, but that is where the seafloor spreading is from. So these are basically the same thing if you look at them, because this layer is this layer. I know they're not as deep. But anyway, underneath that would be the sort of magma area of the asthenosphere. I don't know. The asthenosphere. So I'll draw this in red because it's much hotter than that. So the asthenosphere, being a little bit deeper, and then I've drawn it, is this magma layer right here. It's not really necessarily all magma because it's more of a soft and flowing liquid solid, sort of like if you've ever gone to a science fair, sometimes they have this material that they make that if you squish it around hard enough, and you could squish into a hard ball, but if you just leave it, it melts in your hand. So it's sort of like that. So the asthenosphere is this kind of magma layer.
It's the lithosphere, I think that's how you pronounce it. It's made with a liquid and a solid.
I really don't know. Okay, so you tell me.
Number 2, Dola. Convergent boundaries. So they're when plates come together. As you can see in the image right here, the plates are colliding. This is convergent boundaries, as we already said. They push together. And when things push together, the pressure can make them launch up. So that can cause underwater volcanoes. Sorry, it's not brown. Whoops. Yay. It can cause underwater volcanoes and islands. So this is an underwater volcano, and here's just a little island.
So there are two types to get islands. Is that right, Josie? Is there two ways, or is that slightly the same way that we listed before?
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm confused.
Same
like
method.
The other way, the magma came up and it cooled down and created this volcano.
Yes, that is exactly how it works. Thank you. And since there's this nice little trench where the volcano is, the magma is free to flow up and feed into the volcano, causing it to erupt.
And may cool down to make that island that we now call
An island.
Easter Island.
That's just
probably not
that's
how
an example.
Yeah, it probably,
So.
whatever, okay.
Yeah. It also forms subduction, which is when two plates push so hard against each other, they collapse onto each other. And this can create some sort of abnormal landform.
Like a mountain.
Like a large hill or mountain.
Oh, that makes sense. I'm so cool.
So, if you ever... Yay! So this is convergent boundaries.
Well, the next thing we're going to talk about are transform boundaries. Transform boundaries are basically, let's say you have two plate tectonics. Let's say this is one plate. This is not that pretty. Anyway, this is one plate. This is one plate. And instead of them being just parallel and far away from each other, this is one plate, they would come up against each other and sort of push against each other, like if you had your two hands and you slid your hands against each other. And actually, transform boundaries will create earthquakes, because that is when, once they've gotten far, let's say once they've gotten about to here away from each other, the earthquake will start to happen, because it's just plate shifting. And yes.
The end. From Lila and Josie. Yay! Yay!
Made with Doodlecast Pro.